This Saturday, we find ourselves in the heart of the Swartland in Malmesbury for a classic clash, FNB Classic Clash between Schoonspruit and Piketberg. It is a beautiful part of the country as we move into winter, so some of the colors have changed somewhat. And in the background, the Ceres Mountains and the beauty of the area around here, which is wheat, wine and poultry country. So, classic clashes it is, but it's certainly derby time too. And the derbies have moved in the favour of Schoonspruit over the years. A very tight encounter last year was 16-3. So Schoonspruit have the, can we call it, the home ground advantage. They are the school here from Malmesbury, and Piketberg up the road have travelled down for this derby. Well, derbies traditionally are tight encounters. The colour maroon that you see there on the supporters, the local supporters that is a very traditional colour in the Western Cape. So the Piketberg team that travels down here, coached by Chris van der Merwe, a man who played 142 times for Boland, and he has his son playing as well in the number 5 position, so he'll be one of the locks today, and he will be the biggest man on the field. He's a very big fellow, so they'll be reliant on him. Bono van der Westhuizen is not a small guy at number 8, so he too will have an important role to play. Wynand Smith, the little scrum half, is also a very good cricketer, so we could expect a lot from him in terms of ball skills. And JJ Stander on the left wing is the head boy of the school, and he's a South African athlete when he was in junior school, so a very, very quick runner, and lots to look out for in that Piketberg team. Interesting that you'll see a Kankowski there. Well, it's no relation to Ryan Kankowski, the Sharks and Springbok rugby player, and I think that Ryan Kankowski would have feared to play in the front row. He'd been a bit too big to play in the front row for a start. Well, the people of Malmesbury have come down. It's a glorious day in this little town. And Schoonspruit, then the local team, founded in 1952. And Renaat de Jager will captain their side, or rather coach their side, captained by Cheslin Karasi. And I think a lot of people in the local fraternity here will talk about number 10 there, Enzo Stubbs. He's played 2 years in the Boland Cravenweek team. He's a very, very talented young man, and he's up to his 66th cap today for the Schoonspruit school. So, however, it'll be about their forwards and what they can do. So they're up against a very, very strong pack in Piketberg. Well, some people maybe a little bit of I won't say concerned, but maybe just they're not sure what's going to come. But there are other people that are celebrating. Well, nobody wants to celebrate too quickly as Bono van der Westhuizen brings out the Piketberg team playing today in their white jerseys. And we saw the teams out a little bit earlier too, as a toast was drunk and they sung the two school anthems. It was a really moving moment for the two schools, and it's just wonderful to see that. A man who's been part of the school setup, former fly half for Western Province as well, joins me today. Gareth Wright. And Gareth, you know, I think I asked you on the way up, have you ever played here before? Certainly not at school level. I remember playing a provincial game here previously, and it's a really big day at Derby, is it not?
Fantastic occasion for both these schools, Gavin, and the field is in magnificent condition. They've used it for a few Vodacom Cup encounters in the past, and Schoonspruit are holding on to that trophy in the last 2 years, and Piketberg will look to avenge those 2 defeats of late.
Yeah, I'm sure that, well, they'll have their work cut out for them too, I can tell you. I was just chatting to McNeil Hendricks, who's a former pupil here, former Springbok winger, and he said, you know, they could have things pretty tight for them today. Jonathan Jordan, the 34-year-old from Ceres, takes charge of the match today, and a very special occasion for him. But just have a look at the players there from Schoonspruit, all down, just saying their prayers before the game.
Captain Red!
Well, you know, Jonathan Jordan, I think, just needs to respect that some of the people are
Captain White!
Just saying some prayers before this match. So, but he wants to get the game going. And Steven Brennison will be the man kicking off. That's a really good way to start. A good hanging drop kick from the halfway line.
Step. taking back.
Lafleur it was that got it through. Stubbs is the man who's got a lot of skill in this team. They're not a big side, this Schoonspruit, but they've got plenty of pace and lots of good skills. Terrific start from them, taken up by Wayne Peters. Now they've got good field position to make this work for them. Well, perhaps a little over-eager they were, but a good carry up that from the team in maroon.
Well, what a prominent start by Schoonspruit, the home side here. Fantastic little dart inside, outside by Stubbs, and they're off to a flyer.
Now this is quite a big test for them. I just had a look through this Schoonspruit team as well. You know, their forwards are 702 kilograms. You compare that to a normal Super Rugby team is around about 900. So they're not a heavy pack, are Schoonspruit. Piketberg, no doubt, will use their forwards to try and just tame them. Piketberg have got a couple of really big fellows.
Just two contrasting styles. I think Schoonspruit will look to move the ball into space, where Piketberg will look to play with their forwards a bit more and gain the ascendancy up front.
Although when I was just looking through the Piketberg backline, they're not all that small. So they've got some power perhaps in the midfield. Clyde May is also not a small fella. Anyway, we're talking a lot about size of people, but we need to talk about skills too. And there'll be skills, no doubt, that will feature during the course of this match. This is excellent play. Schoonspruit have done really well there. They've got a penalty advantage. Now Stubbs is into space. Excellent running by him. Support coming once again close in from Wade Peters. So the penalty is gone. Now they want to score tries. Well, they'll start off with scoring one, might be good enough. Mishan Orense with the ball in possession, and then Caprel Lafleur. This is Devon Smith. Lafleur. Little dummy. Good play by the scrum half. Carried up by Matawani. And Matawani is over. The man they call Khaleesi also plays in the flank position.
Well, great work by Schoonspruit. It all started by the number 7 flank, Wayne Peters, taking the ball in the line-up. That drove well. Efficient play by Stubbs again. We know his pedigree, having come through the Boland Sevens ranks, and well finished off by the man they call Khaleesi.
Goodwill Kutsia wastes absolutely no time with the conversion. And that's an excellent start that for Schoonspruit. Remember, they're playing at home, and there's really fervent support here.
Well, Gertie Lafleur showed superb footwork to put the big man into space, and look at the power and the strength, and over for the first try of the game.
Yeah, he's a man that also plays in the flank position, Ntawani. Today he's at flank, so he obviously has good mobility. This is Wade Peters. He's been very evident in these early minutes of this match.
There's a step. Advantage over.
Well, you can see, as Gareth Wright said, this team will want to run with the ball today. They've got good skills. And that's a good bounce for Stubbs. Support coming for him. Has that ball been turned over? That's brilliant play, that by Piketberg. They really have been feeling the pressure. Lafleur. Always good to get a scrum half taking those catches. They've normally got the safest of hands. Right winger Joseph taking it into contact. Well, I'll tell you what, there could be some very tired players today if the game carries on at this sort of frenzy. Back inside it comes. Excellent running from Snyders. And really, Piketberg haven't had their hands on the ball yet.
Well, for Piketberg, the catch-up defender is not working hard enough on defence. That's allowing Schoonspruit to run into the gaps, and their offloading has been magnificent in the early part of this game. Good run there, and finished off there by Snyders, who's just bundled into touch, but it's all been the men in maroon in the early stanza of this game.
When you've got a very tall guy like Christy van der Merwe, he's going to be your target in the line-out, but that nearly went astray. So Piketberg. And they will have a penalty there. Ball played on the deck, says the referee. He was playing advantage, so good from Jonathan Jordan.
Well, just a bit of reprieve for Piketberg. They've got a little bit of a wind blowing from right to left on your screen, which will help Stefan Brennison as a left-footed kicker, so he could carve off a bit of territory here and get Piketberg into an attacking position.
Well, he's done just that. That's an excellent kick, a good 40 meters downfield. And critical that Brennison at fly half can control matters here. He's up against a very talented man from Schoonspruit. Second throw in for Kinkowski for Piketberg. Look for the big number 5. And up he goes. And once again, the timing was not quite right with the throw in. And Piketberg would want to get their first phases sorted out. They've got the power there to use it. Stubbs again through the gap. It's the second time he's done it. Chip and charge it is. Which way does it bounce? See Timberlani up there, and away comes Bono van der Westhuizen, captain of Piketberg. Well, eventually he's driven into touch, but I think that might be the sort of pressure that will be brought to bear today by Schoonspruit. They're going to run at the men in white.
Stubbs again, he's causing mayhem in the Piketberg defence, and just the wrong option. I thought ball in hand should have been the order of the day. Gone to ground, set up the phases. They're in behind the Piketberg defence and let them roll on.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Although with 3 guys around that ball, it just bounced favourably for Piketberg. Anything could have happened. I think that's the sort of game that we're going to have today. Plenty of excitement. Peters this time in the line out. Industrious loose forward, but also useful in the line out. Now they're into the sun there, Piketberg, and they made a little bit of a hash of that. January's done well. Set up the next phase. Gives them an option, or gives Brennison an option to torpedo it downfield. He's got a very educated left boot, has Stefan Brennison. In picture. It's just sometimes wonder, Gareth, if you call them a man, you can't call them pupils anymore. I think they're learners now. So, I'm living in the past there with some of the terminology.
Keep the gap.
Look, I think times have changed since when we were at school, Gavin. So,
that's fine.
But good clean-up work by Brennison again. He's got a lethal left foot, and I think he can carve off big field position for Piketberg.
Throw in for Adrian Aris. Now, where's the pressure going to come in the line-up? There it comes from Christy van der Merwe with a tap down. Now this man's got legs here, stunned up. And leadership as well. There's head ball.
Yeah, that's fine. Hands out.
I'll tell you what, this Schoonspruit team is very competitive. Nice little chip there. Joseph's got some Rodder Wilbro van Wyk. He's done well. Got out of a nothing position to launch a little bit of an attack, but there's going to be a scrum. It might have been for a forward pass. Referee confirming that the ball went forward.
Intelligent play by Stubbs, mixing up his general play, putting the ball in behind Piketberg. Vilbury does very well there, but unfortunately just knocks it on and hands the ascendancy back to Schoonspruit. Schoonspruit at this stage are just living off Piketberg's mistakes, and you underestimate this young side at your peril.
Now they're a tigerish side, Schoonspruit. They're at you all the time. And I mentioned McNeil Hendricks a little bit earlier, who's an old pupil, yeah, Springbok and former Bull as well. He was talking about the type of rugby that he does some coaching here, the type of rugby that they play.
It's fine, ball is out.
Joseph setting up the next phase, Stubbs under a bit of pressure. The support play too is excellent. Is Schoonspruit. They're around the ball like bees around a honeypot.
Die druk op deur. Weg.
Once again playing the ball on the deck, says Jordan. Just talking about ex-pupils, old boys. So McNeil Hendricks, a ex-pupil of Schoonspruit, and Piketberg. Remember Derek Hougaard, the Springbok fly half? Well, his parents still live in Piketberg. That's where he went to school, to junior school.
Kom uit, nee. Kom uit. Fine.
Well, they haven't really had territorial difficulties, Schoonspruit, the ball pretty much, but that was carried back into the 22, so they're going to have to go back, and it's the first real opportunity, this for Piketberg, to make sure they get a good solid line out, and then put a little bit of pressure. Just have a look at that, 27% of possession, which is pretty negligible.
Well, you'd look to hit the big man, Van der Merwe, in the middle of the line-out and look for the Lucy's running off 10.
Well, he went to the back of the line-out, but for the third time, they didn't get their throw-in absolutely spot on. This is Brynesen. He's done well. Brynesen, can he get over? Excellent fly-half play we've seen today. Over they go. The referee is right on the spot. Well, there's a penalty advantage to Piketberg. They'll take that, but I just wonder if they'll look for an opportunity to translate this into a 7-pointer.
Time off.
Well, both fly-halves have shown a willingness to attack the line and run at pace. It was a poor throw over the back of the line-out, but watch Brynesen, an inside-outside step, and here he goes. He cracks on the afterburners. Good covering tackle, but infringement by Peters at the breakdown. And Piketberg have a real opportunity to get themselves back into this contest.
Well, as you see Duan Moster bringing on the little medical bag and the water there. He was going to start this game, but he's actually not starting it, so he's off, and the man, I don't know, Van Deventer, just a little bit of attention, but this is good play. Now have they got the chance and the power to get over? No, they haven't controlled it. Schoonspruit getting out of jail. Back for it, Stander. Well, the bounce of the ball is favouring the local team as well.
Well, poor option taking for me by Piketberg. They've been under the cosh for the opening 12 minutes of this game. 3 points would have put them right back in the frame. Instead, they've coughed up possession and they've landed themselves back on their own 10-meter line.
That's a super kick. It's taken us all the way up to the 10-meter line of the opposition, and that's a little into the wind. This time the throw-in is to the front of the line out to Dievan Angere, but not in straight, says Jordan.
Line down, scrum. Scrum.
Now they have the choice of a line-out or scrum, and they're going to take the scrum because essentially the line-outs pretty much, it doesn't seem that they're working that well for either team.
Well, look for Schoonspruit to put the ball into space, into the wider channels, run this bigger pack around, because that's where their strength lies. The pack weight's not really too much in it, 34 kilograms in the favour of the men in white. But Schoonspruit really holding their own at this stage.
Scrum.
Yeah, quick feed and quick out of the scrum is what would be the order of the day for them. Stubbs with a little pop pass. It just seems like everybody is expecting the ball to come to them, the Schoonspruit players, and I mean that in a positive sense. They're aware of the ball, but it's been turned over brilliantly. Brynesen, that's a huge up and under. It's gone a little too far. Easily fielded by Lefleur. He's done the right thing by kicking it low into the wind. And there's no way past there for Adam January.
Well, January did so well, but he just carried the ball in the wrong hand. He couldn't offend or offload. He couldn't get the handoff out. And he'll just have to work on that as he goes older. They'll work him out a bit more. So just a technical point that January will have to look out for in the future.
Adrian Aries, he doesn't get the throw in right either. Fielded by Dievan Angere. So Piketberg. Well, there's another penalty. This will be against Wade Peters if it eventuates. So offside from Schoonspruit. And now the question is, do they continue? No, they've already decided. They're going to kick it goal, which is verifying your point, Gareth. You know, sometimes you've got to take the emotion out of decision making. Just settle down, think about it first, and then make your call. And your call, default call, in my opinion, should always be to kick it goal. You know, and that is dependent, of course, on circumstances at times in a game. But as a very, very general comment.
Well, it's interesting, Brennerson now having a shot from a lot further out than initially his first one would have been from. But the right decision, and they've got the wind at their back. They have to utilize it and get points on the board to get into this contest.
Getting points on the board, I think, is one of the key things. We often talk about that. The psychological importance of a team once you're on the board. It's like that first run in cricket. You just want to get it behind you. Oh, that's lovely. Beautifully struck by Brennerson. We've seen fly-off play of the highest quality from the two respective fly-offs in these first 16 minutes. Brennerson making 100% sure.
Well, a super kick there by Brennerson. He timed it to perfection, drew it in from left to right, and Piketberg are back in this contest.
Godwell could see was attacking the kickoff, fielded by Christy van der Merwe. He's kept pretty busy by a few players around him. Brennerson again with a big torpedo, got the wind at his back. It's a massive punt downfield. That is an absolutely brilliant kick. Right up against the touchline is Stubbs. And as the net result is a gain of probably around about 70 meters for Piketberg. So using the fact that they've got the wind at their back.
Well, this young man's got a siege gun of a boot. So refreshing to see a number 10 kicking a torpedo kick, which gives you extra distance as opposed to the end of the end. And super kick has given Piketberg a real attacking opportunity.
Well, they've gone with a short line out this time around. Perhaps that'll work a little bit better. Can Kankowski find Christy van der Merwe? Oh, timing just marginally out again. I wonder if the wind's perhaps troubling the players. It's not a wind, it's just a bit of a breeze. Even that can be enough at times. It's not so much the throwing in straight, because generally only one throw has been skew. It's just getting the timing right.
Well, it's a dynamic that goes into the lineup. There's the throw, the jumper, the lifter. So all of those have to come into the equation. I just think at this stage, Piketberg have got such an advantage with Van der Merwe in the front of the lineup. Go to the banker ball that's up front at number 2, secure the possession and play from there.
Well, they did that with Heinangra on one occasion, and it worked pretty well for them.
Bind!
I'll see that.
Scrum! It's fine.
Perhaps Van der Merwe looks like he's on the park too in the centre position for Piketberg. I didn't see him slip on.
That's fine.
No, standard. Thought there might be an easy route out wide. Strong work there from Van der Westhuizen. And I tell you what, the pressure's brought to bear all the time. There's just no easy and free rein for Piketberg around that ball. There's always 2 or 3 Schoonspruit players. So, use it or lose it. And Schoonspruit benefit therefrom.
Well, they're harassing their bigger opponents at the breakdown. They're counter-rucking well. They're getting their arms around the player who's taking it into contact, and they're turning Piketberg over at will.
As ek merk, dan gaan dus al twee hakkers links van die merk as ons klaar is gaps. Reg hulle. Netjies.
So quick translation there from the referee. A lot of words he said in a very short space of time.
Bang!
But essentially just trying to keep those scrums going straight, making sure the hookers also
That's fine.
are in the right position. Stubbs' pass up for a Devon Smith.
Number 7.
So Schoonspruit giving away penalties again. It's Wade Peters. And can Brunison have a bang at the post? Well, he's not going to do that. He's got that giant torpedo of his heading for the corner flag. This time not using the torpedo, but just kicking it end over end, which is a logical thing to do with the sort of angle that he had. And they're starting to come back into the mix now, Piketberg. Even although they haven't enjoyed a surfeit of possession, they're still in the, they've just got to fine-tune, I think, their set pieces, get them right. That last scrum was not great. Their lineouts have been shambolic. And it's another short lineout now, Kinkowski.
That's fine.
This time they got it spot on. It just makes such a difference to give you really good attacking ball from that situation. They've got enough men to carry it up. Gijsbert Dippenaar was the last man in possession. Now, Schoonspruit looking to try and hold it up, but it's down on the deck, so they can continue playing. Brunison, nice little VM with a nice little dart from him. Sidestep inside. I think Piketberg desperate to get a try, but it's another penalty, and it's a very natural thing. But if this continues, you know, the referee will be considering yellow cards, and we know just how devastating that can be.
Well, good run by the big number 7 flanker, Peter Wiem. Piketberg are foraging their way forward. Schoonspruit on making their first-time tackles that are allowing their big opposition to get in behind them and conceding another penalty at the breakdown. They'll have to watch themselves, Schoonspruit, because this referee, Mr. Jordan, he'll go to the pocket if this continues.
He's got a good routine as Stefan Brunison. Very good focus. Takes one big step and then just shortens them enough to make sure that his rhythmical pendulum swing works. He's done it once, he does it again.
Well, good efficient play by Piketberg. They took the restart, they've played a bit of territory, and they're right back into this contest.
22 minutes gone, bearing in mind at school level they play 35 minutes each way. And those 5 minutes make quite a difference, the ones we're used to when we're watching senior rugby. Well, Piketberg just let that ball bounce, which is always dangerous. But they've recovered pretty well.
Taking back.
Brunison. So here's another chance now for Schoonspruit. Just gliding into space there was Evan Snyder's.
Number 21.
So the breakdown points sometimes are really tough for Schoonspruit. They are often on the back foot, and they've been penalised there. Stubbs with an uncharacteristic knock-on.
Okay, look at him. It's a backline player.
So I mentioned a little bit earlier that Haps van der Merwe was on, but he's actually not on. It's Clyde May who's now playing with a number 21 jersey.
Well, Stubbs just having a look up, having a look at the defence in front of him and not concentrating on his catch pass. Again, handing the ball back to Piketberg, and the handling error is 9 after 24 minutes. Both coaches will be concerned about that at the break.
Lots of talent, that man in picture. 65 caps and 2 years of Craven Week rugby that he's played. Just looking through some interesting information a little bit earlier as well while we wait for the injury attention. But the Piketberg School was founded in 1846, which is quite amazing if you consider how long ago that was. Just 36 pupils, but today they've got 670, which is considerably less than Schoonspruit. 1,600 pupils at Schoonspruit, so it's a very, very big school. And delivering a lot of really good talent as well.
Stay.
Brunison on the right foot. That's good pick up there from Joseph. That's good pressure. You see Schoonspruit Players getting in quickly, and it's open up space. They're so good at cleaning those rucks quickly and bringing that ball out. Now Van der Vesto isn't back for it. The captain started running away from his fellow players, but he's managed to bring it back in field. Still, that's another turnover. They are such a nuggety team, the Schoonspruit side. Lefleur, Stubbs, they've got extra men here. They couldn't move it quickly enough. And it's another turnover. Credit there to Piketberg. And another one. Actually a forward pass, but referee is playing advantage.
Step.
Will we see a little chip kick over the top there from Lefleur?
Use it.
He's changed his mind. Try scorer. Matewani.
And that is over.
There's the little grubber kick, but the angle was a little bit too much. And the touchline is the winner. But again, good pressure from the local team.
Well, both sides guilty of turning the ball over too many times in this opening stanza. Lefleur putting the ball on the boot. The grubber has rolled favorably for him. And it's pressure on that Piketberg lineout. Again, the number 9, the nuggety number 9, putting it in behind the Piketberg defense, and a real opportunity to contest the ball in this lineout.
It's fine.
A good line-out was needed, and a good line-out was got, but this is not a great kick. That Stubbs back, and he's just been treated. He's back in action again. He saw the ball, and his eyes lit up. Someone's got to do the clean-up work. Schoonspruit have done very well. Through the hands, Devon Smith here. Good running from him. Oh, just didn't get the pass right, although let's give credit to Stander for some brilliant defense there. It was a 2-on-1 situation, and he's also come away with that ball and kicked a fantastic touch finder, JJ Stander.
That has to go down as a missed opportunity. Devon Smith did oh so well, and he had players screaming for the ball on the outside. He had a 2-on-1 and just held onto the ball for too long. Good clearing up by the left winger, Stander.
And the kick downfield from Stander. It's brought some relief for them. It's a tight match. There's just 1 point in it. It's unusual to see a number 6 throwing the ball into the line out. Rowan Matesa.
Captain choice.
I don't think I've seen that before.
I'm on the spot.
A flanker, number 6 flanker throwing the ball into the line out.
Well, I know in the old days when they used to play with leather balls and there was no money involved in rugby, that's what used to happen.
No.
Or the wingers.
No, that was correct in my day. The wingers would throw it in or bowl it in like Brian Williams from New Zealand used to do. Used to actually bowl it into the line out.
Stop.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter who throws it in as long as you don't take your tallest man and make him do that. Strong work from Clyde May. And he's had the ball ripped out. And Schoonspruit have taken it away. Well, Schoonspruit will have the put-in courtesy of that rip.
Well, Clyde May had an opportunity to move it. He's a burly fellow who carried it up the belly of the field, but unfortunately his working contact was not great, and he's had the ball ripped away from him. It's opened up the blind side here for Schoonspruit, so it would be nice to see an attacking move down the blind, but it looks like they've overloaded the one side.
They've got 2 very speedy players. The left wing Snyders, he's a little fella, but he's like lightning.
That's fine. Stay.
And Joseph's on the right wing. 2 very quick runners. Here comes Snyders with a huge chase downfield onto his opposite number, Wilbrecht van Wyk. And January, he's right up there, Snyders, but have they got out of it? Yes, they have. Kick downfield. You don't want this to bounce. Well fielded by Matawani. He'll take some stopping, I can tell you. Strong tackle on him from Kinkowski. Michon Orense carrying it in. And it's another breakdown penalty against Schoonspruit.
Number 8.
It was against the captain, Cheslin Karasi. He's played 30 times for his school first 15, which is actually considered quite a lot in his second season.
Well, Matawani, he carried so well to get his side into this position, but just at the breakdown, the workwear wasn't good enough, and number 8 coming in at the side, being penalised by referee Jordan.
That's my mark. There's a mark.
The lineouts for Piketberg seem to be working a little better with the shorter number. They've got a 4-man lineout this time.
That's fine.
Just getting their rhythm going. They really have come back into this match after surviving those first 7 or 8 minutes where Schoonspruit were very much at them, but they've got a chance here. Yeah, is there a chance? Yes, the speedster, another one. Brilliant play, JJ Stander. And he's in close enough to perhaps secure a 7-pointer. It really has been a fantastic turnaround for the visitors. Got their rhythm going, just limited their errors, and then used the speed of JJ Stander on the left wing. He was a South African athlete at junior school, so a very, very good runner. Brunison. Well, this time he's actually kicked it wide.
Well, it was great work by the hooker Kankowski. He drew and passed, and Stander cracked on the pace off that left foot, and great finishing by the left winger.
Yeah, Jake White said there's no substitute for pace, and in those sort of situations, that's very much the case. Well, I tell you what, we've got 4 wingers who've all got pace on this field today. The thing we need at the moment is a ball. That's one thing we can't play without. And then when you want one, you get 2, don't you? Old story. Kick in, fielded by VM. Just feel that their confidence, Piketberg's confidence, is on the up. Enjoying running with the ball. A lot of it is good front football. Loose, tight forwards are getting involved. This is where the danger comes. When you turn ball over and these guys start running at you, it's the one thing you don't want to happen. Very neat kick that from Arno Stubbs. There's just 1 or 2, look at that, 11 or 22 turnovers in the match. Unbelievable and unprecedented.
Well, again, May, he's got the ball in 2 hands. He gets the offload to his captain, number 8, but getting the ball ripped out of his hands, and again, another turnover, and both coaches will have to address that area of the game come halftime.
So Kankowski's got a full line out this time. And gets it to his banker there, Fanamarava. This is good play. Into a little bit of space was Roman Zaal. And still they come. January. He's got no support though. Just look at the Schoonspruit players absolutely swarming up. They've managed to hold on to it courtesy of Kankowski.
Number 1, that's high.
4 points in it. VM. And he's heavily dumped now. The referee, he's going to go back for a penalty for a high tackle. He's not worried about the last tackle we saw there, which you might consider to be a tip tackle, where a player is taken through the 90 degrees, and that is very penalizable.
Well, here's the initial high tackle by the loosehead prop, Carlisle Kearns, and you'll see later on in the frame the tip tackle coming up. Schoolboy rugby, it's a definite no-no, it's a red card, and Schoonspruit can count themselves lucky. I definitely thought he was above the 90 degrees, and he didn't put him down gently. So they can count themselves lucky that they have 15 men still on the field.
Yeah, I just wonder about it, you know, if this actually, have another look at it, Gareth, if it actually had gone through the 90 degrees. Yeah, I think you might be right. Might be a little bit lucky. So Brennison now to finish off this first half with a flourish. Well, I'll tell you what, he didn't miss it by much. Schoonspruit will breathe a sigh of relief as the referee calls for half-time. And it's been a stunning first half in so many ways. Despite all those turnovers, one has to say that we've seen 2 really nice tries and maybe an opportunity to see many more in the second half. It's had its moments. And Matawani and Stander own the try scorers. They are the try scorers. Halftime scoreline, Piketberg 11, Schoonspruit 7.